You are listening to Random Gameplay Pimpin.
What is going down? What is going down? It is your boy, Studio MacGyver, and you are listening to Random Gameplay Pimpin'. Welcome to the show, guys. If you're new to the podcast, welcome to the show. If you're into anime, nerd culture, and most importantly, video games, then you come to the right place because we talk about all of that shit here. Today, we have podcast episode number 335. And I got a few things I want to talk about with my family. It's a lot been going on, guys, this past week out here in these video game streets. I'm going to get to all of it. I have some Activision Blizzard just to talk about real quick. I also have some new, believe it or not, Dragonball news. I cannot wait to dive into that. It's bittersweet in my opinion, but I am going to break it down for us. And also PlayStation 5. We got some news. We have a release date window, and I'm going to talk about all of that. I'm talking about the PlayStation 5 Slim. And I'm not very happy. I will say that now. Also, Spiderman 2. We also have some Halloween, believe it or not, for all of my slasher fans out there. And some Nintendo Switch bangers. I cannot wait to talk about that as well. I'm very excited. I've been playing a little bit of Switch lately, and I am definitely excited about a few games. And also, my Anime Watchlist, guys. What I've been watching, and I can't wait to talk about that as well. So, without further ado, let's begin the fucking show. And I think I'm going to start this one with my anime watch list. Now, I am watching 2 anime right now currently. I have 3 or 4 on my plate currently, and I'm just jumping around, and I tend to do that, guys. You guys, all the OG listeners know there's no rhyme or reason to how I watch my stuff. Some people are more formal. They're more 1, 2, 3 type of people, but I'm not that guy. You know, I like to mix and match my stuff, and I do my thing like that. So I'm watching One Piece. I'm going to get to that in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail, but I'm also watching Mobile Suit Gundam 08th MS Team. Okay. This is like a one-off, 1 season only, in the, of course, the universe of Gundam. And so far, so good, man. It came out in the 90s, you know, I want to say like 96, 97. Got that kind of retro kind of style to it. And I'm really digging the anime so far. I'm like halfway through it. And yeah, that's what I've been watching. But One Piece. Now, if you guys know, One Piece is just one of those anime. It takes forever. It takes forever to watch. I think it's over 1,000 episodes. No, I know it's over 1,000 episodes long and counting. Probably now approaching maybe 1,200 or something. I don't know the exact number. But I ran into this guy at GameStop. And we were talking, and matter of fact, I went into GameStop because I was canceling my Spiderman pre-order, and I substituted it for the Super Mario Brothers RPG for the Switch. And I talked a little bit about that last episode, guys, about how digital games are more prominent, and it's almost becoming obsolete to even try to collect for the PlayStation 5s and the Xboxes and stuff like that. Now, Nintendo's a little different because cartridge games are still a thing, and you can get pretty much any game there. and you can get it on the cartridge for the most part. And that's why I'm tending to lean more towards the Switch as far as collecting my games now. And I did say, look, if there's a game out there for a discount price, I shop on eBay a lot. I love eBay because I get a lot of cool games. I just bought one the other day, and I'll get into that as well. But if I can get a PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4 game there, then yes, I will buy a physical game there, because a lot of these games you're not going to find at GameStops, and you're just not going to find anywhere else, and that's why I do that. Now, those will be physical. Okay, I put the game in, then I will have to download whatever I have to download, and that is what it is. But if I have to go out of my way to go and buy a game, a new game, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to probably do digital, guys, and that's just where I'm leaning. I could change my mind like I did before, but that's where I'm at right now. But anyway, I'm digressing. I get to GameStop and to do this, and there's this guy there, and I'm looking at t-shirts because I have this sale, and I actually bought a couple of them. There was this Kakashi shirt, and there was this other shirt. It's Final Fantasy 16 shirt. So I got those shirts, and he mentioned Kakashi, and we got into it, and I said, okay, he knows Naruto. So we started talking, and then we got into just anime in general. Cool dude. And he started talking about his Outlaw Star tattoo. And I was like, wow, one of my best friends loves Outlaw Star. It's one of his all-time favorites. And he said, yes, it's his as well. So we got into this cool conversation, and we started talking about One Piece. And he told me, I guess he asked me where I was at in the show. And I told him like right around 315, 320, somewhere around there. And he was like, wow, you're close, man. You're close. There's an arc coming up you're going to get to, and you need to just get to that arc, and then it gets really crazy. And I said, really? He was like, yes. And I said, okay. I told him, I said, yeah, I remember seeing one of the characters, Usopp, and he's like the skinny, kind of frail looking guy. When you first meet him in the series, he's really like the weakest link in the group, and he's kind of scary. He kind of reminds me of like a Krillin type of character, but he couldn't really fight at all. But he was really smart, and he could, if you guys know One Piece, I'm talking about Usopp, right? But like I said, I'm only around 300 episodes in so far, and he's been getting, slowly getting better and better as time goes by. But I remember seeing a picture of him. I can't remember where it was, but it was a current picture, and he doesn't look anything like he used to look. I was like, yo, this dude looks like a savage now. And he was talking about that, and he was saying, well, I'm not going to spoil it for you, man, but just keep watching. Things happen, events take place, and you're just going to want to be there for that. Some of the best scenes in anime history. I said, really? I said, okay, I got to see it for myself. So you know what? You talked me back into going back into One Piece. I was never going to stop watching it, but he talked me into going back in sooner than I would have to I guess, get acclimated with it again. Because what I do with One Piece is so long, I may watch 50 episodes or something, and then switch up to something else. There may be another anime to come out. I may just stumble upon another one, and then that's how it goes. And then I'll leave that alone for a while and come back. I'm behind on so many anime. It's crazy. Boruto, fucking My Hero Academia. I'm behind a lot. I'm still waiting for Jujutsu Kaisen to finish so I can finish that. And I'm purposely not trying to watch that so I could watch, Gojo's his arc and all the way through. So there's a lot of anime that I'm kind of just, waiting for, or just finding other ones and kind of just jumping from one to one. But anyway, he talked me into doing it, and I've started it again, and I'm happy to announce that it's awesome so far. I've watched not many, maybe about 10 episodes in, but back on the One Piece ship, no pun intended, and we're doing that. So those are the anime that I'm currently watching right now, guys. And yeah, that's it. There's a couple other ones down the pipeline, but right now these are going to be it. Who knows, next week I could be talking about a whole new, completely different one. But right now, as it stands, your boy is watching those two. All right. Now that we got that out of the way, where should I go next? Let's talk about just quickly Activision Blizzard. The deal is done. If you haven't heard, they've been working on this for so fucking long now, guys. There's been so many different stories. They're winning, they're losing the case. Now they're winning again. And now finally, it has been complete. It's over. Activision Blizzard now is owned by Microsoft, and it's just funny because I see a lot of stuff out here in social media and YouTubers and stuff, and people are just so gun-ho on going at people who don't necessarily call that said system their favorite system. If you are a Sony guy, then the Xbox guys are coming for your head. Nintendo kind of is the one that kind of stays kind of neutral or kind of out of the way. That's what I've been picking up on. It's really just between Microsoft and Sony. Those two right there. If your primary system is Sony or Microsoft, it's like a small baby war, out here for no reason. I just don't understand it. If you go to the comment section, you'll see certain YouTubers. You can tell, okay, these guys like Xbox more, and they cater towards those guys, and vice versa. So you got those. And in the comments is always people hating, talking shit about the other consoles. And what I don't understand is a lot of us, I know me personally, I play everything. Okay. I've always been that way. I believe that, well, everything but PC. PC is just, from my opinion, it's just too expensive. And I just couldn't get into them. Never were able to get all the way into PCs. It's definitely an acquired taste for a lot of people. And if you're going to do a PC thing, in my opinion, you want to do it all the way. I know me personally, how I am. If I'm going to go PC, I want to do it the best. I want the best everything. Okay. The best hardware I can get. And I'm just not going to half step with that PC shit. So I just choose not to even do it because that's going to cost a pretty penny. And I'm just a console guy. I've always been a console guy. I mean, ever since the original Nintendo. And that's just me. I believe in a system where you buy it and you get games for it and you play it. I don't really like a lot of tinkering and changing settings and going here and doing this and that, and just a constant, always having to worry about updates and this and that. And that's just not my thing. You know what I mean? And I'm not knocking anyone who likes PC. That's your forte. That's your thing. Hey, we're all gamers. I look at it like that. We're all gamers. We should all, join hands, kumbaya, all that good shit. But it's like that for a lot of us, but for a lot of us, it's not. It's a lot of people who they want to insult the other company for whatever reason. I don't know. Nintendo's kind of, hanging on the sideline watching, and Microsoft and Xbox, they have certain YouTubers and they just do their thing. I just don't understand it. And people just go crazy in the comment section. But, I love Sony. Sony is my go-to system. If I had to pick one, it's Sony, and my OG listeners know that. But that does not mean that I hate Microsoft or I hate Nintendo. Quite the contrary, actually. Like I said, I own all of those, right? I play them all. And if I had to go number two, it'd be Nintendo. And that's, that has to do with a lot of, that's the first system I ever played. It's a lot of nostalgia, but they also have awesome IPs. They just do. And the thing that Nintendo and Sony have in common, in my opinion, is their IPs are they're hard to beat. And Microsoft nowadays, they have the Game Pass. And a lot of people, I keep telling people, do not sleep on that Game Pass. The Game Pass is really good. It's really fun. It's really awesome. And I highly recommend that to anybody. And they have their own IPs as well. They have their Gears of Wars and they have their Halos and things of that nature too. And I'm not hating on anybody's thing. If one person fucks up, I call it. If another company fucks up, I call that. Matter of fact, I'm going to get in Sony's ass today because they kind of did some foul shit, and I'm calling it out. Why? Because it was wrong. Like, there's a lot of people out here who love a certain company and they will not go against that company. They will not call out anything that company, even if it's wrong, they're not going to call it out. And I'm not that kind of guy. So like I said, I play all games. I have love for all games, period. Handhelds, consoles. I'm just a console kind of guy. But anyway, Activision Blizzard is now, I guess, an entity of Microsoft's, and that is finally done. And a lot of people are just going crazy out here, just like they won the lotto or something. If you're asking me now, not too much is going to change. Okay, off the bat, it's going to take some time for some of this stuff to manifest and change up. I'm talking years. Okay, so I wouldn't really jump the gun yet. Shit hasn't hit the fan, but people are acting as if it has. And I just don't understand that. When we get to that bridge, that's when I'll cross it. But right now, hey, it's a win for Microsoft. They got the deal. They got it done. Now, my question is, are they going to do right by the purchase? What are they going to do with this company? All right. I hope they don't fuck it up. Let's pray that they don't. Let's get, some changes made in here. because the president or the CEO of the last one, he's still there supposedly until the end of this calendar year. I think his name is Bobby Kotick, whatever his fucking name is. But he was a dickhead. He was a douchebag. And all he cared about was that dollar bill. He didn't care about the gamers. And it showed. Okay? It showed. Now, hopefully some things change here. And we'll see what happens, man. I was never a Call of Duty player. So a lot of people are talking about that. How, yeah, we got Call of Duty now. And that's a franchise that everybody plays, and they make multiple games of this, and they are a cash cow. But I was never a Call of Duty player, so I don't really feel that. But hey, if you do, hey, more power to you. So that's done. They're also known for World of Warcraft. They also own Diablo, Overwatch, and a lot of fucking mobile games. So they definitely have some deep pockets. Microsoft definitely has deep pockets making this deal. And we'll see where it goes from here, man. Hopefully good things. Hopefully they get some new blood in here, and we can get some actual new IPs in here. That's what I want to see. I want to see some new IPs from Microsoft, and I want to see them do it well. That's what I want to see, period. All right. Let's get off of that. And now I wanted to talk a little bit about Spider-Man 2. We got some early leaks out here, guys. Spider-Man 2 has, I guess, a reviewer leaked his review, and it's a good thing. He's saying it's a 10 out of 10. He basically said it's a 10 out of 10. Of course, they scrubbed the internet for it and wiped it clean, so there's no way we can find it. I've tried, but couldn't find it. But it is a positive review, and not just a positive one. It's an ecstatic one, 10 out of 10. I think the guy also said he's going to walk away from the game for a while and come back and kind of let it marinate, because he was just so high off of just playing it that he said maybe if he waits, a week or so and come back to it and look at it again, it may be a 9.5, but it's not going to dip past that. And that's a good thing. He said it's very climactic. It's a lot of awesome things and set pieces in this game, and looking forward to experiencing those guys. It comes out pretty much next Friday, and technically if you're going to digitally download it, it's going to be coming out Thursday night. So I'll be playing it probably Thursday night. I'll definitely be talking about it with you guys next week, and we'll see what happens, man. Definitely looking forward to it. I love the symbiote costume. It's my favorite costume of Spider-Man, and I can't wait to see where they go with the story. I did also hear that the voice actor for Venom is going to be none other than Tony Todd. If you guys don't know who Tony Todd is, think about the old school horror movie Candyman. Okay, the original first couple of Candymans, that was Tony Todd. Awesome voice actor, awesome actor, period. Every time I think of Tony Todd, I always think of Candyman, the original Candyman. And that's just me. But yes, he's doing the voice. They said they were ecstatic to get him as an actor, and it goes perfectly with their design of Venom. So can't wait to see how this transpires, man. It's going to be dope. A lot of people talking about how long it takes to beat the game. I talked about this last podcast, guys. They were saying, a lot of people are saying 15, 16 hours if you run all the way through the story beats, not the side content, none of the side activities, just straight story beats. All right. And that's something I could just never do. I never listen to those run times, because they're not real in my eyes, because I'm a true gamer. I'm not a reviewer. I don't play games to run through them as fast as I can so that I can make a review on it and be the first guy to do that. To me, that's not fun. To me, that's basically defeating the whole purpose of being a gamer, because you don't get to explore. You don't get to play around with things, photo mode and everything else that these games tend to offer. But they're put in the game for you to experience them. That's why they're there. So why not do just that? But people don't. So it is what it is. Some people like reviewing games and speeding through them. Hey, so be it. More power to you, man. I'm not going to hate. Do what you do. But that's just how I feel about it. But yeah, that is the news on Spider-Man 2. I can't wait, guys. It's only a week away. Now I want to talk about Halloween. I'm a huge slasher guy. Michael Myers is my favorite slasher, over Jason, over Freddy Krueger, over all these guys. There's some close ones, but the number one spot will always go Michael Myers to me. I've seen all their movies, and I love him as a horror fan. Okay. Now, this is some good news, I think. I hope it is. I hope they can do right by it. But Miramax has acquired the rights to Halloween, and they're going to be doing a TV series, okay, and more. Supposedly, they're going to be doing an expanded universe, okay, with Michael Myers and everybody else. And I really think they can do some cool shit with this, because if you are a fan of the Halloween movies and you've seen all of them, then you know that they've taken this character to a bunch of different places, okay? One that I really liked was The Curse of Michael Myers, which kind of delve into kind of a cult kind of thing where, you know, he was kind of almost manufactured in a sense to go out here and do these things. And there was a lot of hidden characters that you never even got to see and really find out. So they could explore just realms over there, and there's so many things you could do with this. And I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with it, man. I'm definitely all here for it. And I'll definitely be talking about that as we get more information. But yeah, that was dope. I had to talk about that to all my horror fans out there in the land. Now let's get into the meat and potatoes of this show. I think I'm going to start off with the Dragonball shit. Yes, I thought I would never utter the words Dragon Ball again, believe it or not, because the way they're handling this shit is kind of just crazy. They're taking their time. They're doing all kinds of shit, man. And I don't know where they're going, and I still don't know. Even with this news, guys, I'm still more perplexed than I was ever, I think, when it comes to Dragon Ball and Toriyama and what they're doing with this franchise, man. But anyway, let's talk about it. The Dragon Ball series is back. We have a new series, guys, coming in fall of 2024. So that's basically about a year from now. Around that time, we're going to get some more Dragon Ball shit. Now, there's a trailer out here. If you're a true Dragon Ball fan, you've probably already seen it. But if you haven't, for whatever reason, I understand how things can slip under the radar. And this is one of the things that they call it. Well, this is what they called it. They first called it Dragon Ball Magic, and then they changed it to Dragon Ball Daima. Okay, I think that's how you pronounce it, Daima. This is kind of where I'm kind of confused, because all the characters, if you watch the trailer, they all get turned into kids. Okay, now if you're already a kid, you get turned into a fucking baby. All right, and that's really all we know. They also showed a little bit of Babidi in there. They showed some Majin Buu in there, and they also showed an adult Vegeta and adult Goku fighting. They also showed the power pole from back in the day in the Dragon Ball days, and they showed Goku using that. So this shit is, who knows what's happening here. It feels kind of like a GT thing when they're going back, but now everybody's a kid. So I just don't know how I feel about that, guys, about the kid part. That's kind of rubbing me a little different. Now, as a Dragon Ball fan, I'm always going to judge. I'm always going to watch it first. I'm not going to, step over the edge and kind of grade it before I've seen it. Okay. But just from what I've seen so far, I don't know what they're doing with this. I don't know where they're going with it. Is it temporary? Is it going to be the entire series? Is it going to be their mission to, turn themselves back to adults? I don't know. The fight scene that they did show with the adult Goku and Vegeta, was that before they were transformed into kids, or is that sometime after? I do not know. These are the questions that I have. A lot of people who are fans of Gotenks or Trunks are kind of salty because, look, they just got turned into teenagers. They just grew up just to be turned into babies all over again. So it's a lot of things you can, it's a lot of things you can say about this. And like I said, the trailer was only a minute and a half, 2 minutes. So there's not a lot to go on. I'm sure we'll get more information as time go by. But right now, man, I don't know. I'm not sad, but I'm not happy. I'm not ecstatic. I am kind of happy that we have just new Dragon Ball stuff coming, but I don't know what's up with Toriyama, where he's going with this stuff, because there's so many things left open right now with the movies and how everything else is going. And he completely went somewhere, is what it looks like. He is completely going somewhere just off the cuff, like nowhere related, nowhere close to what has been happening in the past. And it just doesn't make sense to me. And this is supposedly his pet project. Okay. He is heavily involved, supposedly writing this, and, he's in this. He's not like how he was doing in some of his other stuff, some of the other movies and stuff, where he just kind of sniffs around a little bit here and he kind of lets everybody else do their thing. No, he's supposedly heavily involved in this. I don't know where this is going. I really wish I knew, and I hope we get more information as time goes by, because I wanted, this is the last thing I thought we was going to get. All right. I was looking forward to, of course, everybody being grown up, maybe some more stuff with, Gotenks and Trunks, doing their thing and so on and so forth. Gohan, with his new transformation, Piccolo with his new transformation. You have Brawly out here now. Like you have, Black Frieza out here in the manga doing big things. Can we get an adaptation of the manga? I just want to know, what are you guys doing? I was really hoping that we were going to get that stuff animated and brought into a series, but I guess not. So if they're doing this, then it just tells me that we don't know what's going to come after this. We may not even get those manga in anime form. We may end up completely skipping all of the manga thus far and getting something that happens after the Black Frieza arc. I don't know. I mean, I'm just so perplexed. I'm so lost right now in that. I really have to see I really hope they do the Black Frieza arc though. Come on, you got to do it. I mean, Moro arc. I mean, I want to see all those. I really do. Granola. I want to see all these arcs, man, played out. I really do. But I don't know. We still could. There's still hope out there, but I don't know, man. Toriyama is just cut from a different cloth. He is. And as much as I complain and I bitch and moan about it, without him, I wouldn't be complaining or bitching or moaning about it. If that makes sense. So I guess it is what it is, and you have to take what you can take. So that's what's going on the Dragon Ball side of things. And I guess we're going to have to get past it. Some people are kind of happy, I'm more, receptive of it. I'm just more confused than anything, because I thought it was going in one direction and it's just not even close. So I'll definitely keep you guys posted, because I am a huge Dragon Ball fan. You guys know this. All the OG listeners know this was a Dragon Ball and video game podcast at one point, but it was just so sporadic with the Dragon Ball stuff that I just decided to keep the name, change the name, and make it, more game focused, because that's what I tended to speak about the most. And when Dragon Ball stuff happened, I would discuss it. And that's kind of like where we're at now. So when we get more information, which will probably be another couple months, then I will definitely come back and discuss it. Anytime Dragon Ball something happens, I'm going to be talking about it on this channel. So rest assured, all the people who started watching this podcast for the love of Dragon Ball, I will be talking about all Dragon Ball shit when Dragon Ball stuff comes up. So please believe that. Got that out the way. Now, what I want to talk about is Sony. Sony has the Slim system coming out, guys, this holiday season. They're saying that the release window is going to be somewhere around November-ish, probably the tail end November, around Black Friday, whatever. And I'm looking forward to this, guys. But I was looking forward to it. I already have a PlayStation 5, but the reason why I was looking forward to it was because my son wants a PS5 for Christmas. So we were trying to make that happen. But this is the crazy thing. Sony has pulled out so much butter. They have so much butter in your local retail stores that I'm starting to lose consciousness. I went to Walmart today, matter of fact, and there was a truck and they unloaded a whole fucking 18-wheeler truck of nothing but Sony butter. I'm going to break down why they did it and why they're doing it. And as a Sony guy, I hate to say it, but I have to call it out, man. If I didn't call this shit out, you can definitely say I was a biased gamer, but I'm not. I'm unbiased as fuck. I like to consider myself unbiased when it comes to games and consoles and systems. If you are Microsoft, Nintendo, whoever, and you're fucking up, I'm going to talk about it. Okay, period. And I've done it so many times on this show. Nintendo has been guilty of it as well with their fucking butter they like to pull out at all times on the YouTubers and so many other things that they've done. I could talk on and on about some of their faults and everything and their practices as well, and we all know about Microsoft's. So I'm not going to go there, but right now we're talking about Sony and how they have been fucking up with this console, man. It makes no sense what they're doing. The only thing that makes sense is them being greedy. That's all I see. That's it. Let's break it down. There's two versions of the PlayStation 5 coming out this holiday season, guys. Okay. One is they're both smaller. Okay. This is more of I think it's like 18 to 25% smaller than the current PS5s right now. that we have, okay, depending on what one you have, the disc or the digital only. The price for the disc version is going to be the same. It's going to be $500. It's just going to be a smaller version of that, okay? Just a slim version. Here's where the problems come in. The digital version of the new model is going to be $450, not $400, $50 more. And it has an external disc drive or Blu-ray that you can get later or you can buy separate. So let's say you wanted to go digital and then all of a sudden you change your mind and say, you know what? Fuck it. I found a game on eBay, physical copy. It's only $5 and I want to play this game. And I bought it, but I don't have the disc drive. So I decided I'm going to add the disc drive to my current PlayStation Slim that's only digital. Okay, cool. How much is that? That's going to be $80. So you're going to pay $80 to get that piece, which if you look at it, it doesn't really make sense to even buy that system because you might as well just buy the one with the disc drive already on it for $500. If not, you're going to be paying $30 more because you wanted to get an external later. So you probably just want to think ahead of time, guys, and ask yourself, is it worth, $30 extra to buy it later or not? It's just really up to you. But I just think that's a shitty move. It's a bad move. It doesn't make sense. And on top of that, you're not going to be able to stand your systems vertically like the current systems right now, because the current systems actually come with a stand where you can lay it horizontally or vertically, if you choose. But right now, guys, we don't have that option if you have the slim versions. With the slim versions, if you want both systems to stand up vertically, you have to buy a separate piece, which is $29.99. That doesn't come with the system. You have to buy that separate. And that's another shitty move from Sony. Sony could easily have included that. You've already got the systems slimmed down. You could easily add that there, but no, they are trying to milk the fucking system. So they're phasing out the other PlayStation 5s anyway. They're no longer making any of the other PlayStation 5s. So once those are gone and sold, they will not be making any more of those. The only ones you'll be able to buy are the $500 ones and the other ones. Now, what I think is going to happen is everybody's going to be trying to find the one with the disc drive on it because it makes the most sense. And you take the less loss if you add everything up. And the only thing you have to buy is that $30 stand, which you want to set your stuff up vertically. And that's what most people do. That's how most people have their systems. That's how I have mine. And that's how most people I know have their PlayStations. They have them standing up vertically. They don't have them laying down. I'm sure there's some out there who do, but most don't. And if you look at the advertisements, they never have them laying down horizontally. They always are standing vertically. And that's because it's marketing. It's a marketing ploy. They're trying to sell you those stands. That's what they're going to do. Okay. And that's kind of grimy. That is definitely buttery, and I do not like it. That's the issue I have with Sony. And I can't really believe Sony's doing this. I didn't see this coming, and I didn't think they were going to be this fucking greedy. I thought they were, they cared about their players a little bit more than that, but apparently they don't. At least not the new ones. It's almost like they're punishing the people who couldn't get their hands on one prior. But in essence, it was their fault anyway because they didn't have enough supply anyway. So it's kind of like, what the fuck are they doing? But anyway, I had to call that out. Sony, that's just bad practice right there, in my opinion. It is. And the only upside, if you want to call it that, to this is that when you talk about the size of the SSDs, they're a little bit higher. That's it. Okay, so both the digital and the standard Slims come with 1 terabyte SSD storage. Okay, that's more. That's only about a couple hundred more. I think the originals come with 825 gigabytes. Okay, the OG models, 825 gigabytes of storage. But then when you add in the operating system, which is about 150 to 200 gigs, then you're sitting right around 800. The OGs are sitting around 650-ish, something like that. So that's what we're looking at as far as space is concerned. And the other caveat to this is if you decide to say, okay, I found a OG digital version for $400 and I can just go and buy the extension. I could just go buy the external hard disc reader later and play physical games if I change my mind. Then hold your horses. Stop right there. You're not going to be able to do that because it's not compatible with the OG systems. It's only compatible with the ones that are coming out this holiday season, the slim version. That's it. So that doesn't make any sense to me either, of course. And especially when you're phasing those other ones out. If you're phasing those other ones out, then you're almost forcing somebody who bought the digital version, who may change their mind later and have an option to actually do that. You're going to get them all hyped up. And then when they try to go buy it, oh, it doesn't work. It's not compatible. You can't even use this. All they have to do, all Sony needs to do is just as simple as putting down an update. Do an update, boom, let it, be compatible with all this. And I think that's what's going to happen in the end. And the tail end of these life cycles, guys, there's probably going to be an update that will allow all third-party devices to work with this. I just know it because it's already there. It's just written on the wall. Right now, they're made to do that. They're just blocking it because they are trying to make money. So when they feel like they've sold most of their systems and they're going to sell as much as they're going to sell for the most part, and they're in the twilight of, their life, these current systems, they're probably just going to say, okay, here's an update. You can go buy any fucking external, disc reader, disk drive you want, and it's going to work. So you could go get a fucking Samsung or whatever the fuck. And these are, $20, $30. You can buy them now. And then it's compatible. It works. That's what's going to happen. Or somebody's going to have the system and they're going to already be doing it. They're probably already working on it now, jailbreaking this shit. So you can't run from those guys out here, man. They're too smart. There's a lot of smart people out here that are doing these things, and pretty soon you're gonna have to change that up. But right now, that's where we stand, and that's what Sony's doing. I don't support this at all, guys. I do not fuck with this, and I think this is just kind of fucked up, especially now that I have to get another PlayStation. And I'm seeing how it is out there. Now, if I'm going to buy one, it's definitely going to be the one with the disc. You might as well just bite the bullet, get the one with the disc in it, because I have a lot of physical games and I'll still be buying physical games, PlayStation 4 and, whatever else I find on sale that I want to add to the collection eventually. And you can't find them all digitally, or if they do have them digitally, they're not going to be a price I want to pay. So I'll end up buying them, and my son will probably want to play them, and he'll have that option as well. So he was trying to play my shit tonight, but I have it on, what do you call it? What's the mode you put it on when you're just letting it chill and it's just kind of glowing orange? I have it chilling right now, because I'm playing a game and I don't want him to interfere with that game. So tomorrow I guess he can play it, but still, that's just a side tangent, whatever. I just wanted to get that off my chest, guys, and let you guys know what was going on with the PlayStation 5 Slims and how much butter Sony is putting out here in these video game streets, because it's a lot right now, guys. I'm literally slipping on this fucking butter. All right. Garments will be removed. People will be hit upside the head with a foreign object. Lights will be turned down low, and butter will be warmed up and used on your person. That's all I'm saying. So get ready. You're going to be wearing turtlenecks because you're going to be hiding that hickey in the back of your neck for a few weeks. It's true. It's fucking true. All my OG listeners know what I'm talking about. You feel me? You all do. But anyway, there you have it. I don't know what I'm going to do about this Sony thing, but it sucks. Anyway, let's move on. We're getting to the end of the show now, and I just had to mention this, guys. I've been playing a little bit of some Switch. Been feeling really good. Been finding a lot of hidden gems out here. And what I like to do every once in a while with the Switch is go to their shop, their eShop, and just kind of, look at demos, right? Search demos, kind of, see what they have available, test them out, right? Because I'm not gonna lie, there's been some games that I said, oh, this looks cool, but there's no demo, but it just looks cool. So I'll play it or I'll buy it on sale, and then they didn't end up being what I thought it was. And there's been some that I've bought for like $1.99. It ended up being awesome. There's this called Two Monks or some shit like that. I can't remember the name, but me and my son, we bought it for like $1.99, and we played that shit. It was a pretty extensive game. We played that game for a couple of days, man. It was like 10, 12 hours. It was pretty fun. It was dope. It was definitely a surprise. And those are the ones that I love to death. Those super surprises. I decided to download some demos and test some of these out, guys. And wow, my mind was fucking blown, okay, on some of these games. And I'm going to let you know about a couple of them right fucking now. Now, let me start with a game that I've been trying to get add to the collection. It's on pretty much every system, if I'm not mistaken, but I wanted it on the Switch because, if I can get a game and it's a good Switch port, then I will add it to that Switch library because I believe in portability over anything else. Now, I will not sacrifice, technical genius for that. In other words, if there's a game that I really like and it's on the Switch, but it runs like shit on the Switch, then I will not buy it on the Switch. I will buy it on a console. But if a game is awesome on the Switch as well, given a game like, let's see, Nier Automata, which I haven't gotten yet. I know, kill me. But that's just one example. There's a lot of other examples that you could mention. And we're not talking about first party games. We're talking about third party games. And then, I would like to have it for the Switch. Well, there's this one game that's called Akiba's however you want to pronounce it. I call it Akiba's Trip. Okay. There's another game out there, and this is the second one. This is the director's cut. All right. It's an RPG, takes place in Japan. It's really a unique game because the way you play it is you beat the shit out of your opponent. Okay. There's basically vampires hiding in plain sight, so to speak, something like that. Demons, vampires, whatever. To find out who they are, you have to take their clothes off. And to get their clothes off, you have to beat the shit out of them until they're woozy and then snatch their shit off. It's almost like walking around Japan with a stick of butter or maybe a Ziploc bag with warm butter in your back pocket. It's just fucking doing shit to people. But anyway, it's a really fun game. Like I said, I've only seen people play it and I've heard a lot of people talk about it, and it's just so up my alley. I didn't even realize it, but you beat their ass. You strip them down, piece by piece until you get them damn near naked, and then they are finally exposed. If they are exposed, and then they die. Okay, they fucking explode, melt, whatever you want to call it, and you go around doing this. And there's more to it than that, but yes, it's dope. And you walk around Japan, and the way that they built the world is pretty dope because it's kind of on par with actual Japan. There's actual like landmarks in Japan where they actually put verbatim in this game as well. And just the otaku love in this game is ridiculous. So you can have all kinds of weapons. You can use boxing gloves, I've seen, and each weapon, you get different movesets. So boxing gloves, of course, you're going to be using your hands a lot, and you can use sticks and pillows and all kinds of shit, man. It's crazy. It's just kind of fun, quirky, but at the same time, it's an action RPG, which I kind of love. And it takes place in a Japanese backdrop, and I love all of that. So this is a director's cut, so you get a little bit more here. And apparently this one has a true ending for the characters. So there's a lot of female characters you can meet in here, and you can actually play out with them and kind of play out little romances and stuff like that. So that's another thing I definitely did. Kind of like, I don't know, a harem anime kind of being played out in the game in essence, if you will. So there's a lot with this game, and I've been really wanting it. It's just been a little pricey for me for I'd call it an indie game, but anything under, $50 is an indie game in my book. Your AA games, and then you go to your single A games and all of that. So they range anywhere from $10 all the way up to, $40, $50, depending on that. So this game was around $40 for this director's cut. And I ended up finding on eBay a Chinese version, for like $25. So really, I feel like I got to win on that because they're average. Like I said, for the physical copy, they are pretty pricey. Matter of fact, the digital copy is $30. So say what you will, it's 30, and I got it for $5 cheaper, and I got physical, and it also has English and Chinese. So English vocals, English dub on the game. So cool. Really looking forward to playing this one. It'll be here like Monday. I'm going to talk a little bit about that game as well next week and kind of give you my experience on that. But yeah, man, excited about that one to add to the library, add to the collection. And like I said before, let me reiterate about the Switch, man. That's really the only system that I am wholeheartedly seeking out physical games for. And the cool thing about Nintendo is that most of their games are on the cartridge. Okay. You're not going to there are exceptions. Please don't get it twisted, but most of their games, I'd say 90% of them are on the cartridge. So if you find the game, it's there. Okay, you don't have to worry about updates or anything like that. And maybe they may have a patch down the line, a small one that you can add, but you technically really don't need those patches if you don't have internet or whatever. You can still play those games. All right, so that's the cool thing about Switch, and that's why the Switch is kind of the number one system. If we're keeping it real, if you go by all regions and on the planet, then Nintendo is that numero uno. It's even over Sony, and Sony has sold a lot of fucking consoles, guys. So that tells you something there. Deservedly so. Like I said, they're very special in a lot of things that they do. I don't like a lot of things that they do on the other hand, but they still have IPs that, are just unmatched by almost anybody, and that's who they are. They know who they are, and they don't give a fuck who they are. They don't care. Okay, they're going to do what they're going to do. That's just Nintendo. That's the Nintendo way. But when it comes to these games, that's the cool thing. And they do a lot of digital release games that eventually, depending on popularity and requests, they'll make physical games for them. There's companies like that out here that will do that and create games, take the digital game and put it on a cartridge and kind of make it into a game. And a lot of people on Etsy do that a lot too. They do that for like the Dreamcast stuff. That's where I got a lot of my Dreamcast and Sega Saturn games, believe it or not, that I couldn't get anymore. They replicate them. They do the covers, everything where it looks like you just got it out of the store, if not even better than that. They do a lot of that. So I think that's what a lot of these companies are doing, not just on Etsy, but they kind of do that and give you that nostalgia and give you, something to hold on to, physical. So I like that about Nintendo. I love cartridges. I've always loved cartridges. So I think that's just the old school player in me. Call it what you want. That's that game right there. Let's talk about two games that I played demos of this past week, and they blew my fucking mind. Especially the one is not even out yet. It comes out at the end of this month. Oh, I can't wait to talk about this one. But the first one I want to talk about is called Gunbrella. Okay. And this is why I love the Switch so much. The Switch reminds me of like a baby Steam. It's like, I love indie games. If you don't know, indie games, they're just so cool because there's so many of them and you can never discover them all. It's like, there's not enough time. Even if you were just a Nintendo guy and all you had was a Switch, you still wouldn't be able to find them all, man. But I play so many games, so many systems. There's no way I would find and discover all of these, right? I depend on YouTube for help and just kind of my own fucking discovery, right? If something piques my interest, I see the graphics and I like it, then I'll go and look at the video and see how it plays. And then if it's a demo, I'll play that. Sometimes I'll just off the cuff, I like it. I like the preview. I like the trailer and I'll buy it. Right. So this game is just one of those examples, man. Gunbrella. It just came out this month, right? Earlier this month. And it's got this retro 16-bit kind of style, which I actually absolutely love. And you run around with this umbrella/gun. Okay. And you do a lot of things with this umbrella. Okay. You can fly with it. It can take you in the air. You can block. You can parry with it. You can shoot. It's like a shotgun when you first get it, and you can upgrade it as time goes on. And there's a demo out, and I highly recommend you guys pick this up on the Switch and play this shit. It's called Gunbrella. I'll say it again. Gunbrella. Gunbrella. And it's fucking awesome. And it's a dark little game. It starts out where I guess his wife dies. She's slaughtered, man. He comes home and she's just dead, right? He's screaming and of course in agony. And then I don't know, time goes by and then he's looking, I guess he's searching for what happened, who did it. And this Gunbrella thing is something he doesn't even fully understand himself. He's just using it. And the way that the game is made is it's an RPG. You have different quests that will unlock for you. You talk to NPCs and they'll tell you, hey man, I'm looking for so-and-so. If you see her, you're going to this town, you're going to have to cross through this town. And that's where she was last seen. If you're in this town, if you could go after her and you could try to see, maybe inquire about her, where she's been and find out. And if you find her, tell her I'm looking for her, yada, yada, yada. And then that's a quest. Hey, this quest has been unlocked and so on and so forth. So I think this game is really, really awesome, man. It just surprised the hell out of me. And I highly recommend you guys test this out. I'm definitely adding this to the roster. And I really hope they do a physical copy of this. The art style is crazy. And even the art for the game, like the art for just what you see on when you pull it up, it's awesome. It's like this dark I can't put a finger on an art style, but it's definitely awesome. It's definitely some shit I would wear on a t-shirt or something like that. So looking forward to diving into this game more. It's only like $15, so definitely a pretty good price for an indie game right there, sweet spot. And these games go on sale all the time, maybe 2 or 3 times a year at least. So if it doesn't go on sale in the next couple of months, then I'll definitely pick it up. It's definitely on the top of my list. Gunbrella. I'm still even playing through the demo. I'm not even done with the demo, and I've been playing it for a couple of hours. So like I said, I haven't gotten to the point where it says, hey, demo's over or whatever. So game is awesome. I can't even begin to explain the things you can do with that gun. Okay. With that Gunbrella. All right. And the controls of it. It's crazy. It really, you got to see it for yourself, but definitely check it out. The other game I want to talk about is this one. I've mentioned it before, guys, but now I finally had a chance to play it. And this is another demo. This game is not even out yet. This game comes out October 26th. Now, it's already out on PC, and that's when I first discovered it. I discovered it, and I talked about it with you guys for a brief moment. I said, this game is caught my attention. I don't know much about it, but it looks very interesting. And every time I hear someone talk about this game, they are singing this game's praises. This game goes by the name of Dave the Diver. Okay. And I remember when I found out about it, and I seen it on YouTube or something, and I looked it up and it said coming soon to the Switch. Now this one here, it's not out on any other system. It's not out on any other console. Like I thought this would go out on Xbox and all this stuff, but it's not. Okay. It's PC and the Switch. This is definitely a must buy. This is a $20 game, and it comes out on the 26th. I am buying this day one. This is definitely an indie that must be played. I've been playing the shit out of this game, guys, on the demo. Still not done with the demo myself. This game is awesome. Now I see what everybody has been talking about, Dave the Diver. It is an awesome experience, man. You play this overweight diver, okay? Swimmer, whatever you want to call him. Okay, he's just a fat guy. You have a couple friends, and what you want to do is you go into business with these people. All right. So during the day, you deep dive, okay, in the ocean, and you hunt for fish and you gather materials. All right. And then during the night, you actually go to the bar, and you're a partner, and you co-own a bar. Okay. You start out in debt. You start out like -100 or something in debt. And basically you go during the night, and you go to this bar, which you can only go to at night, and you serve people, you wash dishes, you pour drinks, and you serve food, right? And that's a mini game in itself. So customers will come in, and you have to, keep up with all the customers. Hey, this customer wants a drink. You got to make sure you fill that cup. This customer wants a plate. You go grab the plate from the end of the table. And if you wait too long, they'll get angry and they'll leave. And then it will cost you part of your reputation. It will cost you, money, of course, what you're trying to get, because money rules the world. It makes everything go around. With the money you get, you can purchase new things to fix up the actual diner, the actual bar of yours. And you can eventually get it to the point where you work your way up to where you can actually start new franchises. Okay. Also, when you go down and deep dive, you're searching for fish, you're hunting fish. And with that fish is what you bring for your bar. Okay, so you serve your sushi and all this other stuff. Okay, different kind of fish, exotic fish, and that's the beauty of it as well. So you have to catch them, in different fish are, you have to approach them a little bit differently. Some are harder to catch than others, and that's when weapons and stuff start to come into play, because you can actually get guns. You have a harpoon, but you can also have other guns, because some of these fish you're going to have to actually kill. You also have a knife. You can get a physical object like a bat or like a club, and you can hit them. It's awesome. Then you have fish that are aggressive that will come after you and could kill you. Like I said, and then as you get more things under the water, more, I guess, materials and things like that, you can get blueprints. And once you get blueprints, you can get new weapons built for you and help you, and new diving gear, because that also has a limit. You have a certain amount of oxygen that you have, and it basically runs out. And if you don't have any more oxygen and you let it run out, then you can also die there as well. And then if you get pulled out of the water because you ran out of oxygen, you lose all of the stuff. You can only bring one item with you, so you get penalized for that. So there's a lot of dope shit to this game. It's a lot of management, but it's fun. It doesn't feel tedious. It just feels really fun, and it makes you very excited. I know me personally, it does. The gameplay loop is amazing, and I think that's the special thing about this game. That gameplay loop is just, it's so addictive, man. I've been thinking about this game all fucking day. The gameplay loop is crazy, and it's definitely worth every penny. I think it's worth more than $20. And this is another one that they're going to make physical. I just know it. This is one of those games where you're just like, I'm just waiting for that day. You know, I'm buying it digital, but I am definitely going to buy it when it comes out for physical. This is like one of those games where it's going to be talked about in the indie scene for a long time, especially when it hits the Switch, because yes, PC is out there, but we're different players. A lot of players are different. Okay. It's really big on PC, but I think when Switch gets a hold of it, it's going to be a whole nother monster. They're going to be putting a lot of other people on this, and I think it's going to reach a whole another fandom out there. And I think that's going to catapult it with the PC and the combination of the Switch together. You're going to be hearing about this game for some time, and we're probably going to get a sequel. Like, I see all of that when I play this game. Like, there are certain games that have that special kind of thing to it, and you can kind of almost see the future when you play this. And that's why I love indie games, because these are some of the best games. These are some games that are better than these AAA games out here, man. And I mean that. It like the way what these guys think of how they put this shit together is amazing. It just is. And the cutscenes, oh God, don't let me get started on the cutscenes that are awesome as well. So it's even more to it than that, guys. But that's the basic gameplay loop of this game, and they keep adding stuff in more and more as you keep going in. So I'm enjoying it like crazy, and I hope you guys download that demo, Dave the Diver. If you have a Switch or if you have PC, go get this fucking game. Download the demo or buy it if you have a PC. Play this game, man. It is amazing. And like I said, the Switch, you can take it wherever you want. Like, what better thing is that? There's nothing better. There's nothing fucking better, man. And there's also a boxing game. I've been really fiending for like Mike Tyson's Punch Out lately. I need some Mike Tyson Punch Out in my life, or Punch Out. And I have that on my 3DS, but I can't just take all these systems with me all the time. You know what I mean? So I needed something for the Switch. And we're so crazy. All these years, we don't have that. We just recently got a game. Okay. And it's Thunder Ray is the game I'm talking about. And I talked about this before, guys, but yeah, this is the closest thing we get to a Punch Out game, which is an awesome game. I haven't bought it yet. It's like $15. Definitely going to the library as well. Hopefully they do a physical of that as well. But that's basically a beautiful looking kind of Mike Tyson's Punch Out anime. You play this black anime boxer character. He looks awesome, by the way. You fight all these crazy people, man. And, it's a great game, and it's portable, and it's on the Switch, and I think it's also on all consoles. That one's on everything, I think. So yeah, but I'm definitely getting it for the Switch. So just really fun, really good to be a Switch player. Dave the Diver, I'm telling you guys, please. I keep saying it, but play that. Go play that shit. And that's going to do it for the show. I want to thank everybody for coming out. It's late. I didn't really get any sleep, guys. I got about 4 hours of sleep, so I'm riding on fumes. I'm going to go watch some One Piece and edit this video. And that's going to do it, man. Thank you all for listening, downloading, streaming. We do this every Monday, same bat time, same bat channel. And yeah, man, it's going to do it. If you guys want to show love, show more support, please, you can easily do that. If you go out on some of my handles, guys, go subscribe to the YouTube channel at Random Gameplay Pimpin. If you have not, go to the TikTok and subscribe and follow me on Random Gameplay Pimpin as well. I'm really focused on my brand here, and I'm doing a lot with TikTok, and I'm doing a lot with YouTube now, guys. I have so much content coming for the YouTube channel, and there's also a lot for also the TikTok. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to have the merch coming soon as well. The Random Gameplay Pimpin merch. Going to work on that. So we got some things coming. All right. Got some things. I'm always working, always trying to make some things happen, but I'm really serious about this brand, and I'm trying to grow the podcast as well. I mean, I haven't done really anything. I've just been doing it, and it's been kind of growing on its own, organically. But now I'm to the point where I'm like, well, you know what? It's time to put a little bit of weight behind it, you know, because there's a lot of people who just who love games, and I just want to spread the love for games and anime and, you know, all that nerd shit, man, that we like to consume and like to do. It's made my life better. It's saved my life. It's It's just my love. And I don't know what I would do without none of this stuff, guys. I don't know without games. I don't know what I would do. I honestly don't. Same thing for anime. It's just a different beast. It's very therapeutic, if I can say that. It's very therapeutic to me. And I'm sure a lot of you guys feel the same way, because why else would you listen to some guy talk about this shit every fucking week, right? All my Dragon Ball fans, I have to mention this as well. Please check out DragonBallDrip.com. Get a hoodie, get a t-shirt, coffee mug. Anything you buy will definitely help out towards the show. And now I'm finally going to get out of here, guys. I love you all so much. I thank you all for your support. Without you, there's no fucking me. I do this for you guys, and I'll continue to do this for you guys. I'm going to get out of here now. This is your boy, Studio MacGyver, and you have been listening to Random Gameplay Pimpin'. See you next time.